Hello, folks. This is Nathan again, coming from the Philippines in Quezon City, Metro Manila. And for those of you who are new here, this is again a video that you're watching, or it could be a podcast on Spotify, or it could be a blog post that you can find in my website, onelifeonly.net. So if any of you are looking for a counselor, just visit our website and you can find all the details there on how you can find us. We're also on social media, Facebook mostly, and YouTube. All right. So, okay. So for those of you who are new here, I'm just reading my blog post and turning into a video and also a podcast. So for this week, I'm going to talk about making the hard life-changing decisions. So I guess for most of you who are mm, have gone through some life changes or certain stages in life, I'm sure that you have come upon a times when these decisions are in front of you and that you have to make sooner or later. Okay, so here we go. I'll start off reading my blog post. There are a few crossroads we face in life. Who to commit to in a long-term relationship? When is it time to quit one? What course to take in tertiary education? Where to live? What school to send kids to? These are all part of what life presents to us. Many of us can get caught up in the rigmarole of decision making. Many clients come to therapy hoping to get an expert opinion on which path to take. It is quite the common sight that clients come to therapy with the idea they can consult as many therapists as they can and come up with a logical and sensible decision. So it's pretty common here. Okay, what's your expert opinion? Can you help me with this very difficult choice that I have to make in this time of my life or time in my life? All right. So you're not alone. Clients may find themselves weighing pros and cons with an expert in therapy. Unfortunately, this normally ends up with what is called counterpliance or even pliance. Forgot to mention that in the blog. Like pliance is when people follow what you say only because you're the expert, but that eventually doesn't last very long and it's not sustainable. Or the client making a decision that goes in the opposite direction. So I'm talking about counterpliance here, okay? Or the client making a decision that goes in the opposite direction of what the solution or what solution was arrived at with the expert, basically demonstrating what our minds do all the time. You can experiment on this by remembering how many times you have thought about how successful a decision can be. Pretty soon, you will notice your mind reminding you about the other extreme result, which is failure. This is why, although tempting to me, I do my best to avoid dwelling on content when a client comes to me with this kind of dilemma. If I wasn't conscious, I can get carried away by the back and forth in therapy. I avoid this because it isn't something that the client is not able to do on their own before they come. So any kind of move in this direction will probably be nothing new for the client. All right. So there's nothing that you're going to do in the counseling room if you weigh the pros and cons that the client hasn't already done on their own in their own uh, rooms at home. Okay. So fundamentally, our lives can flow into these situations wherein we have to choose one way or another. In a wonderful demonstration of how an ACT or acceptance and commitment therapy therapist would work with someone who is going through some difficult decisions, Dr. Stephen Hayes shows how our minds can trick us into thinking then we can make a difficult decision and not be scared. The thought that hard choices should not be scary can creep into this process and paralyze us into not making them to our own detriment. I often give my clients a perspective towards the past and the future with a question. I would ask them if they are familiar with scenes where people are gathered for one of those momentous occasions in life that are supposed to be filled with joy and anticipation. If these were indeed just full of positive feelings and happy thoughts, then why the heck do we see people crying in these instances? Isn't that strange? Just to refresh your memory, have you been to a wedding, a graduation, a debut, an 18th birthday party? For those of you who are not from the Philippines, that's what we call, you probably call it the same way, I'm not sure, but in the Philippines, we call it a debut. Usually it's done for uh, females, right? More often than not, you and I will see people tearing up with smiles interspersing in their faces. Why is this? My client will often sit with mouth agape, not finding the right word to explain such a phenomenon. So I asked them the question. These are really happy moments. Why are people in tears? And it's hard to answer, right? I would tell them that the body language is precisely a description of what is going on inside of them. It is a mix of feelings. It is not just purely happiness that is going on internally. There could be sadness, fear, and many more. In other words, these are the bittersweet moments in life. You know, the ones that are eventually etched in our memories as the most meaningful ones. For in life, the best moments are not the fun moments, although they can be, but they are mostly those that are hardest. So, sorry, folks, to let's say ruin the party for you. But weddings aren't really just all about happiness. It's also a very difficult decision to make in life. Graduations, it's a happy moment, yes. But the reason why people tear up during graduation is that those moments when there will be those moments in the past that you will recall that was that were very difficult for the parents and even for the graduating student. I can still recall some of the happiest moments I had that I spent with a friend. Although there was nothing but fun and joy at the time, there was something still there was something there was still something bitter about it. It had to end. Life is sometimes bittersweet or has to be bittersweet. Otherwise, we could be missing it. Making hard decisions parts usually forms part of living richly and meaningfully. Let me repeat that. Making hard decisions usually forms part of living richly and meaningfully. Being brave is not about having no fear. It is rather doing what matters to us, even when there is. All right. So it's not a very long video, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you and writing it for you. Uh, and these are the moments when I find really meaningful uh, uh, instances in the counseling room when people start to realize that the thing that they're so scared about, the thing that they're running away from, is really the thing that makes their lives, more worth living. All right. So again, do visit my website, onelifeonly.net. And for those of you who haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, please do so. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time, either whenever you're watching this, either through the weekend or throughout the week that you're looking forward to. Okay? So bye for now. Till the next video.